Generating traffic and sales can be a challenge for online merchants. But selling on the Walmart Marketplace puts your products in front of millions of customers who shop on Walmart.com. And right now, sellers who join Walmart Marketplace can save up to 50% on referral and fulfillment fees for the first 90 days. So get started today. Head over to marketplace.walmart.com/savings. That's marketplace.walmart.com/savings.
Today's podcast is sponsored by SLI Systems, providers of intelligent site search and navigation solutions. Learn more at sli-systems.com and listen to their interviews at ecommercepodcast.com.
Your path to e-commerce success starts right here. You're listening to Practical E-commerce, the podcast for e-commerce results.
Welcome back to another Practical E-commerce podcast. My name is Brian Getting, and this is another supplemental podcast to our October 2006 magazine. This episode is actually Mitch Bettis, our contributing editor, speaking with a gentleman named Sean Barger, who is the CEO of a company called Equilibrium. And Equilibrium makes a pan and zoom software for dealing with product images, so that it sort of helps people set up a system where people could rotate images, get closer to them, and manipulate them in a way that lets them, fully experience and see a product before they decide they want to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Mitch Bettis, who again is speaking with Sean Barger of Equilibrium.
Well, I am grateful for your time, and I'm looking forward to what you can tell us today about product display options. Maybe we start on some of the big picture issues. Why is improving product display options on a website important for an e-commerce owner? Why should we invest in that type of software or technology?
Well, Mitch, there's many reasons why. I know that there's been a number of studies that show, for example, that people are more likely to buy a product if they can see the details, the front, the back, close-ups, especially for items that are detail-oriented, such as jewelry or even electronics, and without having the ability to see materials and information and a close-up view of the product itself, it's very difficult for people to make a buying decision in a lot of cases.
Is this type of a tool good for all retail products?
Well, the type of tools that we create and the product line that we have do, for example, whether you want to just automate the processing of a lot of your thumbnails and original large images, you can do that with one of our products. Or if you want to, make zooming and panning from an original source file an option to automate the visualization of products and get into the details, it's something that you can add to a site. And really, because of the fact that you can automate production of your media, not only visualize it, makes it a compelling function to give sites interactivity. So I'll give you an example. Bluefly.com is an example of a women's clothing site that uses our system and has had consistent increases in sales quarter over quarter. We are currently talking to an automotive parts manufacturer today about enabling zoom and pan on their small parts inventory, while also making an interactive tire hub and tire tread visualization system that actually lets you configure your vehicle in your colors, and then for the items that they sell, it gives you the ability to then zoom in, pan on the detailed derivative images after you've configured what it is you want to buy. So you can it gives you the ability to put the tires and the hubs on your own car, as if it's something you can't really do at a retail store, right? You have to buy them and then put them on the car.
Well then, and just so I understand kind of how some of your technology works, this may be too rudimentary of a description, but I, as a retailer, would have an ability to upload X number of images. I have 1,000 products. I have 100,000 products. I may have multiple images of each product to create some zoom pan feature. I can upload all that to, say, my account on an FTP server, and with my website, I can then link to those images that are stored on your system. Is that incorrect, or is that too basic of a description? Or
Yeah, okay, so our software products are for installing either within your web infrastructure or within whoever does your hosting. We don't actually have a hosted service at this time. So you actually install our MediaRich merchandiser product, for example. That allows you to quickly make a request to it. You put up, all of your images, your original images, into a file store, or if you already have them in an asset storage system of some kind, our systems are, you can integrate our systems with anything. It's one of the benefits of our technology versus others. And it allows you to quickly and easily create the thumbnails, the large, and the zoom and pan capabilities with our, with 6 templates right out of the box.
So as I understand, there are some software options in this genre of products that do provide a so-called hosted solution. And but my understanding of what you're describing is an interesting option, because that means I install the software on my dedicated or virtual dedicated server, and the entire package rests in one location.
Well, that's correct. We originally had a hosted service and pulled it down because there just wasn't enough interest. Now, I think that may be changing, because I do think that there are new models for hosted applications, but the fact is that centralizing and keeping your own original assets on your own servers is what most people want to do.
Is this, in particular, your product or products, scalable?
The reason why a lot of companies turn to Equilibrium is because when they do their initial benchmarks, they find out that there is no pre-processing required, first of all, for our system. You can take and zoom and pan on a Photoshop file, you can zoom and pan on a TIFF file, you can zoom and pan on your original file media. So you don't have to take our image and convert it into a FlashPix format or some tiled format, or even have to use a Flash player, which is a lot of different companies how they work. Our system, it on demand generates at very high speeds and delivers the derivative to the screen optimized for the zoom and pan window that you've selected. So it's extremely fast and can deliver approximately 13 unique requests per second. It also has an incredibly high-speed cache management system, so that you don't have to regenerate the images once they've been generated. So what that all means is, to answer your question, the product is extremely scalable. We actually have rental options that allow you to try our zoom and pan technology for as little as $200 a month. And our solutions, for example, the entire UBID site is powered by Equilibrium MediaRich. They actually deliver up to 40 million images per day on just 5 MediaRich servers. So to do the scaling, you would just put a load balancer in front of the 5 servers, and our systems automatically deliver the assets back.
I'm looking at this type of software and this type of tool. What kind of dollars do I need to plan on? And ultimately, I'm looking at what kind of return I can get on that investment. Can you help us in that general discussion? Yeah,
sure. So we start off at, as I say, you can effectively lease the systems now through us if you so desire. Most people, because of the small to medium-sized businesses we deal with, as well as some of our larger customers, they just want to buy the systems, and then there's a yearly maintenance component associated with them now. The costs are systems start as low as about $5,000 for a single CPU zoom and pan server package, and scale into hundreds of thousands of dollars for very high volume enterprise configurations. And you would buy MediaRich merchandiser, and you'd be able to quickly have on a single CPU box, the ability to deliver, a fairly substantial e-commerce website, and all of the derivatives would be generated from their single original source.
Are there other things that you'd want to note that make those products Equilibrium offers? What makes them distinctive in the marketplace? Other things about Equilibrium that if somebody's in the market to explore this type of technology, what else should they know?
Well, I think that we already talked about that we integrate anywhere with virtually any existing web infrastructure you might have. I think it's really important to say that our system was made to automate workflow. A lot of other systems don't work this way. Equilibrium has a patent on automated processing and delivery to the web server cache, and our systems require only one original image that all derivatives, thumbnails, large previews, and zoom and pan, for example, come from. So I think the big major differentiating factor is that there's no pre-processing required or any fancy digital asset management check-in system or what have you. Really, our ability to template and deploy images and animation has always really set us apart, and track all the derivatives on demand. I think the exciting new features that we haven't talked about yet with our 3.8 media-rich platform really separates us from the rest of the pack. The ability to template video and audio in the same manner. So you can actually take an entire workflow now and apply it to all the different derivative outputs with our system. But I think that is an incredible new capability that really means that all streaming videos can be transcoded from an original video, bugged, and delivered to a website, iPod, podcast, 3G phone, IPTV, etc., with a drag and drop or with the standard MediaScript language. So messaging, advertising, branding can now be changed in these multimedia formats and then redeployed instantly to the website and ready for devices.
And that's going to wrap it up. Once again, that was Sean Barger of Equilibrium speaking with Mitch Bettis, our contributing editor. Actually, go to our website at www.practicalecommerce.com, and you can see the accompanying article to this podcast, which is about image manipulation and product images and the benefits of using such software in your e-commerce site.